Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're diving into one of the most talked about developments, which is Penrith, that will likely preview at the start of October. So situated at the ever popular area that is Queenstown, this project has everyone buzzing about its potential for own stay as well as for investment. So the big question is, with Queenstown being well known for having a premium price tag, will Penrith be safe to buy? Okay, so for this review, we will first touch on the fact sheet, followed by the land pricing and what did the developer pay, and of course, did they overpay or did they underpay? And next we'll talk about Penrith and compare it with the existing resale condos in Queenstown. We'll also talk about the rental potential, the exit strategy, any potential objections you may have as a buyer of Penrith, and lastly we'll just conclude with some final thoughts. So now we'll go through the fact sheet. So Penrith will be developed by Hong Leong as well as Gorko Land. So in terms of other preliminary info, in total we have 462 units altogether, and it's spread across 102,000 square feet land plot, and it also comes with a early childhood development center, roughly around 500 square meters. So for the 462 units, it also comes with 2 towers altogether and 40 stories high as well. Penrith is located in the really nice estate of Queenstown. Queenstown may not have a really big mega mall right at the center, but that's also one of the appeals of the project, right? So it's very residential kind of area. But nonetheless, in the immediate vicinity, there's also places like ABC Brickworks, okay, there's IKEA. And of course, if you want to go Queensway for all the sport shopping, but also the Laksa. From Penrith side itself, we are just a 500-meter walk to Queenstown MRT. Okay, so in general for Queenstown, quite a number of the existing resale condos are located in the southern side. So for example, we have the Queen's Condo as well as Sterling Residences. Then on the opposite side of the MRT, there's also projects like Commonwealth Towers as well as Queen's Peak. But in general, some of these condos that are near the MRT line, they tend to get more road traffic as well as noise from the road as well as the MRT. If you're looking at Penrith, if you prefer a more quiet facing with all the low-rise landed in front as well as the Redoubt Park and Dempsey facing right in front, right, where it's completely clear. If you prefer an option that is more quiet, then probably Penrith is a little more suitable. So this is actually a drone view to the north of Penrith, and you can see it actually overlooks the Dempsey area as well as the Botanic Gardens, the heritage bungalows along the Kasiang Road. Here's the site plan. One thing good the developer has really planned really well is that both the blocks are very far apart and they're separated by the main pool. Another good thing is that in general the blocks are oriented north and south, so north-south orientation for all the blocks. And another good thing is that you'll see that there are actually only 6 units per floor plate for both blocks. Each of you are only going to have 5 neighbours on the same floor. So in total there will be 2 pedestrian side gates, and there will also be an early childhood development centre. So this is just some of the artist impressions for the project. And I'll say, look at this, we can call this a $1 million view facing towards the north. These are just some other impressions of the landscaping within the project itself. So now for primary schools, okay, we actually have Queenstown Primary within a 180-meter radius, but we do have other schools like Newtown or Gunning Sing. So now here are the floor plans. We'll just cover the show units, but if you like the full brochure access and the full floor plans, feel free to reach out and DM me. So for the 2-bedroom, one of the show units are actually going to be the 2-bedroom premium at 678 square feet. It's a dumbbell shape. Another thing that immediately you can tell is that the kitchen is actually enclosable. If you want to fit a sliding glass panel here to enclose the kitchen as well. So in terms of the bedroom sizes, we have a 16 square meter room, which includes the 5 square meter bath. So for the 3-bedroom premium layout, one good thing is that we have a fully functioned 10 square meter kitchen, enclosable with a glass panel here that will eventually overlook the living and dining. And it also comes with a yard with the fully access to the flexi or the store area as well. For the master bedroom, we actually have a really nice walk-in wardrobe style, and it also comes with both bathrooms having the window. This is the 4-bedroom premium type 4B at 1281 square feet. Just remember that there's also harmonization for this project, so the AC ledgers are not included in the strata area. One thing really good is that the kitchen in the future will actually be having this full glass panel overlooking nice landscape living dining and functioning yard area as well, with the store area accompanied with the WC at the back. Of course, the feature here will be the nice landscape style living dining. Okay, but of course, if you want the option of having your dining set outside in the balcony to make use of this space, you could also shift your dining set outside next time. Every one of the bedrooms, including the master and the 3 common rooms, are having an ensuite bath. Okay, so now let's do the price comparison. Okay, so Gorko Land and Hong Leong, they won this land plot at 1154 per square foot per plot ratio in August 2024. Back then, there were only 2 bidders for the plot. So considering the successful bid was actually about 5% higher than the second bid, and given the subdued interest back then. Okay, so now we compare Penrith to Bloomsbury, which just launched in April and is nearby to Penrith. So Bloomsbury is in District 5, as Penrith is in District 3. And the developers of Bloomsbury actually purchased this land plot at a slightly higher land price than at Penrith at 1191 per square foot per plot ratio. So not forgetting the land prices of the upcoming plots. In terms of go to OCR next year, okay, Bayshore actually was bid at 1388 per square foot per plot ratio, which is around $200 higher than that at Penrith. All these OCR locations are going to be even more expensive than the RCR localities like Queenstown. And also just announced recently, we have the second plot at Chuan Grove in OCR that was actually bid at 1331 per square foot per plot ratio, which is around $200 per square foot higher than Penrith. It's really similar to the first plot, which was bid at 1376 PSF. Now we will actually talk about Penrith and how it compares with the resale developments surrounding it directly. So we just compare Sterling Residences and Margaretville, as these are relatively new developments in the estate which just TOP about 3 to 4 years ago. Sterling Residences firstly is a mega development with over 1,200 units, while Margaretville is similar to more towards Penrith with a smaller land size and lesser number of units at 309. So looking at the latest transactions of the 2-bedrooms at Stirling Residences and Margaretville, we can see that the average PSF of Stirling and Margaretville are around $2,400 and $2,100 per square foot. If they were GFA harmonized, this would actually work out for Stirling Residences to be around $2,544 per square foot, and also for Margaretville it would be around $2,226 per square foot itself. So comparing the 3-bedrooms, for Stirling Residences it actually averages around $2,500 per square foot, while Margaretville actually averages around $2,240 per square foot. So if it were GFA harmonized, Stirling would probably transact at around $2,650 per square foot, for Margaretville is $2,374. So comparing the 4-bedrooms, okay, I'll say Stirling now averages around $2,500 PSF, and also if it were GFA harmonized at 6%, it's around $2,650. Then for Margaretville, it's actually $2,200 per square foot on average, and if it were GFA harmonized, it would be $2,332 per square foot. Okay, so now we'll look at the rental transactions for both developments to determine the rough expected rent for Penrith. The rental average PSF is around $6.7 per square foot. Margaretville is around $6.5 per square foot. 3-bedders is roughly around a similar PSF range as well. Transactions for 4-bedder, you can even see that 4-bedroom rental even goes as high as $9,000 plus. The average PSF is around $7 PSF. So now let's discuss the exit strategy for Penrith. Located in Queenstown, where there are already around 5 existing condos with a total approximate number of 2,600 units on hand. If you buy Penrith, the question is, will you be able to exit safely? So if you look in the vicinity, there are still 5 residential plots that have not been yet released, and another 3 more potentially. Penrith would be the last spot nearest to Queenstown MRT. So if you're waiting for future plots, there's a very high chance that you'll be entering at higher prices, but yet further from the MRT than at Penrith. Looking at the existing price trends of the 3 newest resale developments in Queenstown, so we can definitely see that the average PSF has increased healthily over the years. Now we'll talk about the potential demand for Penrith in the future. So whether there is high or low demand will determine whether it will be easy or difficult to exit in terms of the exit prices of Penrith next time. I would say for Penrith, okay, one really obvious one would be the demand will largely come from the surrounding HDB and condo upgraders in the immediate vicinity. Penrith is a pretty central location with many amenities. EMs at Milling Street have crossed the $1.3 million mark. With the asking prices, it goes as high as $1.5 million. Newer 4-room flats at Strathmore, they've already crossed the $1.1 million plus mark. The highest transactions in Dawson, just beside Penrith, they've crossed $1.23 million for a 4-room and $1.48 million for 5-room. Sky Terrace at Dawson, the highest transacted 5-room has even crossed the $1.65 million mark, and the highest transacted 4-room was $1.37 million till date. And the craziest record breaker thus far is this 5-room flat at Margaret Drive, which sold for $1.73 million. But this just shows that what Queenstown can achieve just for public property. And if you look at Queenstown for the past 1 year, there were a total of 159 HDB transactions, just over 1 million. So with HDB dwellers actually exiting their flats at such prices, depending on their age and income as well, they could definitely easily upgrade into the surrounding area condo developments such as Penrith. There are already so many existing potential upgraders, just you can see here within the immediate vicinity, with all these having MOP for 10 years or less. And next year, there will actually be 3 more clusters coming to MOP, which I believe set new price records again. All this definitely show price support for the condos in Queenstown, especially Penrith as well. So how so? Let me show you the calculations. So in this case, we look at the 5-room flat at Sky Terrace at Dawson as an example. This was actually purchased at $522K as a BTO back in 2009. So fast forward to today, it was sold at almost $1.66 million. If we do the math, okay, assuming the seller bought it at 35 years old, okay, with an LTV of $425,000, his current estimated outstanding loan will be around $416K. After minusing his expenses over the year, say $38,000, and his estimated CPF refund and his accrued interest of say $970,000, his estimated cash proceeds now is around $970,000. And assuming he is now 44 years with a monthly gross income of $15,000 with a 1-month bonus, $2,000 monthly car repayment, okay, just as a very exaggerated example, his TSR would have allowed him to purchase a condo of maximum price of $2.248 million without any cash top up. And assuming he tops up $300,000 from his cash and CPF proceeds, he could potentially purchase a condo of a maximum price of $2.72 million. So if you look at the estimated price matrix for Penrith, he could easily get a 3-bedroom there, supposing it falls in the $2,800 to $2,900 per square foot range. With so many potential eligible upgraders in the vicinity, I would say that Penrith sure has a strong price support. So for investors, owning a unit in Penrith means not just enjoying the modern living, but also having a solid and lucrative exit strategy. The thing is, of course, we can't say everything is good. Buyers of Penrith may also have some potential objections, so we'll discuss that. But Penrith is going to be 40 stories high, we can actually expect the price difference to be quite significant between low floors and high floors. How would that actually impact your prices in the resale market, right? So let's take a 2-bedroom at Sterling Residences for example. We can see that this 624 square feet, same stack, level 2 was purchased at 1693 per square foot as a new sale, while level 39 was purchased at a higher price at 2023 per square foot. So it's around $300 PSF difference in price. You can see that actually both units have resold in the resale market. So for level 2, it was sold at 2114 per square foot, while level 39 was sold at 2307 per square foot. So if we look in terms of gross profits, level 2 made 421 per square foot more than level 39, which made only 284 per square foot. So in terms of the moral of the story, right, a low floor doesn't mean that it's bad also. It depends on the price analysis, and if you purchase or enter at the right price, you'll still be able to exit safely with decent profits, and sometimes even more than the higher floors. Next, just now we also mentioned that the north-facing units actually towards the GCB area, the unblocked views, right? Okay, but there are also plots zoned residential there which would potentially block the views, though we do not know when these plots will be developed eventually. However, looking at the plot ratio, they are unlikely to go beyond level 24, and they are still quite a distance from Penrith. So depending on the individual's unit's exact position, it may not be such a big concern. And also if you're above level 24, likely your views will be unblocked regardless.